Hey, Big John here, and we are back in the saddle for another Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes Build-A-Best free-to-play, and we are rocking day 15. It is a very Merry Christmas here in the States, wishing you all a happy holidays if you're celebrating. And today we're going to be talking about our currencies, conquest, and territory battles today. Been a couple of days since I've had the chance to make a video because the busy holiday season, but today we'll go ahead and jump in and talk about some of those things we were wanting to talk about on day 13, but also we're doing the same events day 14 and 15, so we'll pop in on those and we'll just check our progress, and then we'll talk a little talk today about how we're spending our currencies, and currency being defined as anything that we kind of spend in this game. So crystals, energies, and then our tokens for shipments. We're going to be taking a look at that today to what we're doing in the count. But first, exciting news, this little update on our Rebel Officer Leia Organa update. We joined this guild because of the fact that they're doing this territory battle, the Hoth Rebel Assault, and we were able to get 26 bonus shards from the special mission in Phase 3. We'll go ahead and just take a look at that real quick here. So if you jump into your territory battle over here, there's obviously different ones. There's the Hoth, the Geonosian, the most recent one, Rise of the Empire, where you can get the Mark III currencies. But we wanted to earn extra Rolo shards, so we were able to do that on Phase 3 down here on the bottom of the special mission. You can see all these Rolo shards, the mission, 26 Rolo shards earned there. We have 66 in total, so we're exactly 1/5 of the way through after one raid and one territory battle. So making great progress on our Rolo shards, and we should be able to get there in plenty of time for the Journey Guide event to get our Leia, Galactic Legend Leia. But if you go to territory battles, it very much walks you through, how to deploy units, how to do the things. But like, for example, you can get up to 3 stars. So I can't do the mission to help, but you can go to your platoons here. And these are where you can lay down different ships, your characters, whatever, to help with bonus stats moving forward, to reinforce, these certain abilities for people. I don't have any characters to put into this platoon is full, but it will be lit up with a little red dot. If you have a ship that you can put in there, you'll select it, assign it, boom, help the team out by platoons. But so you go ahead and take a look. The special mission, we can't participate because we don't have Rebel Officer Leia Organa. As you can see, our 66 shards already, amazing. But then we have a combat mission that we can complete, and then we have, let's see here, only one that we can do because we don't have the Hoth Rebel Soldier as well for this one. So can do our 2 combat missions, see what we can help with the platoons, and then we deploy the rest of our power to help us build stars for the event. So let's go ahead and let's do a combat mission here. Again, with having all these relic characters early on in the game has completely changed everything. It's you're a lot more overpowered. It's a lot more no battles, if I'm being honest. It's not as nearly as challenging or interesting in a lot of ways, but also, it's easy to participate and earn rewards as well. So there's that balance. They're kind of making this game, over the years, a little more cookie cutter, less theory crafting, harder to kind of go out and do your own thing totally. But we will just craft what we have. And as you can see, we're just auto battling this. The relic delta difference of 3 is plenty to just mow through these guys easily. Yeah, it's definitely made for less exciting gameplay in the beginning here, less challenge and just working what little you have to get the job done. So pros and cons, obviously. All right, go ahead and earn 423,000 territory points. We're almost to that next tier. We're less than 1 million away for that next star. Like I said, we can't do this mission. We're not going to platoon until we've done all the combat missions we can do. And the other one was right here. So we'll go ahead and do a combat mission in this territory. Oh yeah, we'll just go with the rest of our relic characters. And sure, Padawan, he's the highest ranked character left. Padawan Obi-Wan might die, but the other relic characters should be able to just tear through these guys as well, just like the last relic squad did. in the last combat mission. Yeah, for 15 days free to play, we are making amazing, amazing progress. So yeah, so each round of the territory battles, you see which missions you can participate in. Try to clear as many waves as you can, earn as many points as you can for stars for the guild. Get your rewards at the end here. So yeah, just got to check in. Once a day, do what you need to do to help the team out. Combat missions, deployments, platoons, all the things. Yeah, there goes the Padawan Obi-Wan. We suspected that would happen at some point. I thought it actually would happen a little sooner. But he held pretty strong for a while there. Cook them up like bacon. There you go. Because we burn them if they ain't quick and nimble. Alright, come on. Work through them. Counter, 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 counter. Come on, Issa. There we go. Another 423,000 territory points for the guild. Alright, let's check out our platoons really quick here. Alright, it looks like we can platoon one character here. So you just find out who it is right here. Undeployed, it'll say. Click on your act bar, assign one. See, it counted one more. And we'll go ahead and start this platoon since we have a character to use. We'll sign that one. Close that up. We'll drop down to our other platoon, see if we can help out at all here. And then we'll go ahead and deploy the rest of our forces. All right, looks like we can help. We can deploy one more character here. Bam. And then we go to our overall deployment. Just click on the main tab for the zone. And all these characters we're not using, you just select all and deploy. And so we deploy another 162,000 on top of the 846 we earned from our mission. So, we contributed over 1,000,000 points this round, which is pretty good. Almost got us to that second star there. So that's kind of territory battles in a nutshell, at least for this board, this Hoth Rebel Assault. And then more good news on the guild front while we're in here is our guild is actually at a rate of about 22.5 thousand raid tickets per day. So we're going to be doing a raid every 8 days instead of 9. So every day less is better. So our next Grand Arena lock for characters is 2 p.m. on the December 30th, which is going to be an exciting day because also on December 30th, we're getting our next round of Lightspeed tokens for the Jedis. And then, as well, the timing of my guild event, we should start this event in 2 days on the 27th, and we'll finish it on the morning of the 30th. So the morning of the 30th, we'll have guild rewards to spend from the raid. We'll have to unlock our Jedis and get the tokens on them, and then we'll lock in for Grand Arena. So New Year's Eve, the 30th, is going to be a very exciting day for us. A lot going on, getting ready for our first Grand Arena, and all those goodies we're going to need to spend up to get our teams ready, as ready as possible. So another exciting news. Christmas Day, the 25th and the 26th, we have double drops. So everything that you're farming, you get double the amount on them. So for example, we go to our farming. I was already doing some farming today on, using up some of our morning energy. So, we farmed up Piet, you get 4 instead of 2. I think I hit 8 shards of Piet maybe. You got double drops in all your ships here. So this might be a really good time for us to refresh the node and farm ships again. Unfortunately, just with the holiday season and being busy, I didn't get to stock up energy and prepare for double drops like you can. They say 3 to 4 days ahead of time you can start hoarding your energy. And so you do your 350 crystal refreshes, you get your free energy from the store, you get your 135 you get from your bonus energy throughout the day, and you save that for 4 days, and you cap it up to 2,000, and you just spend it all during double and triple drops. I just wasn't in a place to be as prepared for it this time, so we're kind of just doing our energy like normal for now. But then there's also another event on the 1st, I believe, so then maybe we'll try to take the couple days before to try to hoard a little bit of energy for the second round of triple drops, because again, 25th today double drops, tomorrow the 26th double drops, the 27th triple drops, and then again on the 1st, the New Year's, is another triple drop event. So try to take advantage of those while we can. But as you can see, we've already farmed everyone in our top row. Just go ahead and we've done Skiff-Guard Lando, Aurora. We can go ahead and farm up some Aurora shards. And again, this is the downfall of it is 2 times 0 is still 0, 3 times 0 is still 0, so we didn't get any shards again for this day, even though it's double drops. That's just one of the bummers of it. And then we're going to go ahead and wait just a sec on the Jawas. We need 25 more seconds to get the 1 energy we need to go max on the Jawas. So we're going to pull out real quick. We have both of our Jedi to 5 stars, so Duel of Fate comes around. We can at least already do the first phase, but we're going to keep farming up these Jedi as quick as we can. Again, double drops. We're using our 3 refreshes, just get these guys going as quickly as we can. Hopefully we can hit a big. See, we only hit once, or 4, which would have normally been 2. You're hoping to hit one of those times when you hit 6, it turns into 12. You really want to hit one of those money shots. That is the dream, anyways. All right, we got that 1 energy back. Let's go ahead and spend that on our Jawa. See, again, just 1 hit, but 4 shards instead of 2. Ships, we are Fleet Energy, Slave 1. Obviously double drops here as well. We've already hit it and then we refreshed it. Unfortunately, we only hit once on our first one and whiffed on the refresh, so still only 2 shards, even though it's double drops, and we trying our hardest to hit a bunch. And then we got our Outrider, who we also did as well. And then, not the Phantom. I was trying to go to any Starfighter. We have 1 left to do. All right, we hit double drop on Annie's. And so our option is to refresh one of those nodes, or we can go ahead and farm a little bit on the Raven's Claw, which gives us Raven's Claw, Kyle Katarn, and a piece of gear we want. So let's go ahead and do that instead of doing a 50 crystal refresh on the Hounds, or on the Slave 1. I don't want to refresh and whiff again. There we go, 6 shards and 4 shards. That's a nice hit right here, not bad at all. I'm glad I did that. Our mods are double drops on the mod battles and your materials here. So if you want to stock up on some of that, you can. We are desperately just trying to gather up mods for our squads though, so not stopping. I'm going for critical chance right now to try to pair with some of the critical damage on Sabine, trying to get some critical chance for Rex to go with his speed mods, and then even TIE Fighter pilot, Darth Vader, they can use critical chance, critical damage mods. So we decided to try to get some critical chance mods going. Unfortunately, no health, no speed, but maybe we can hit a speed on the last attempt there. All right, so let's go ahead, before we do some Conquest battles, let's go ahead and stop right here and let's talk about our currencies. I obviously should have started talking about them as I was spending them and farming them, but here we are. So your main currency, your main source, your what you use to buy and spend on everything else is your crystals. And so we obviously were blessed with 5,000 bonus crystals from the SWGOH event thing that was going on. And so we've been able to spend up crystals like a drunken sailor and just do as much as we want. But really, if you don't have those 5,000 bonus crystals, we would obviously be through all the crystals that we had. You can't do 3 Cantina refreshes a day. You can't do 3 regular energy refreshes. Plus, if you want to do more mod farming, and then you got ships, you don't earn that many crystals a day. So we've been running at a deficit for an extremely long time. I've known this, and I'm fine with this. We're taking advantage of all these free crystals we can to, supercharge our account. We want to pump everything into we can to keep it going. But generally speaking, your crystal income is from your daily quests. So between your daily quests that you get from your crate, you get 65 plus a little bit of bonus, and then you get 25 from your Galactic Wars by simming that. So you get about 100 crystals a day from your daily quests and your galactic battles. And then now that we are level 85, we get our that's challenges, not Grand Arena. Grand Arena, we get our rewards every day from being in Carbonate 5, just being in the bottom level. You get 55 there. And then also your other main fleet income is your Fleet Arena. Top 50, we just, the last day or two, partially because of my schedule, but partially just because the pods have been filling up with better ships, we were pushed out of the top 50. So we need to get back into the top 50 as soon as we can to start earning crystals from our squad arena, fleet arena as well. So you kind of want to, once you're through all your bonus crystals, or you want to consider how much you can spend a day, how many refreshes you can do a day, depending on what your crystal income is. This is just what we're talking daily. This doesn't count all the, bonus events, anything else going on, journey guides. We're just talking about daily. So right now we're looking at about, until we get back into the top 50, we're only getting about 155 crystals a day, give or take. And so that's only really enough to do our 3 regular energy refreshes. And so every day that we do our 3 cantina refreshes, we're going 300 crystals into the deficit, basically. And I'm okay with that because we're going to keep rolling as long as we can. But just something to think about, we're going to have to, slow down our spending unless we can increase our income of crystals, which hopefully we will just be able to do over time. As we get higher in Fleet Arena, get our Executor going, climb up the Grand Arena ladder. Each tier you get more daily rewards for crystals. So we'll adjust as we need to, as we're running out of resources, or as we're adjusting how much we earn each day. But for now, we're just going to keep rolling as long as we can to keep this event going, or keep this account supercharged, I meant. All right, so regular energy, you saw what we're doing with our regular energy. It is farming characters that we need. Specifically, we are just focused on journey guides we're trying to accomplish, Leia, Executor, Jabba, and then Jedi Master Luke Profundity. Both of them is our plan, so we have them set out in that order of how we're going to farm them. You can farm at max, basically 2 rows a day, so these other characters are just, like it says, waiting on deck until we're farmed up through these other characters, and then you just, we're going to slowly work our way through. Some of these characters that are on deck, we're probably going to end up using Lightspeed tokens on, and we'll talk a little bit more about those here when we get into how we're spending our era currency. But yeah, just kind of have it lined up here, our farming for our regular energy, and just we go through, boom, farm, and 50 energy, or 350 energy crystal refreshes, and then we just farm what we can for the day, just going in order through this list right here. Eventually we'll get through them, we'll get them off the list, go to the next things. And so we're just farming characters with our regular energy. We just don't really have the ability to farm gear right now. Cantina energy, same idea. We're just farming characters. We will eventually need to farm some mod materials as well. Relic materials as well from the last level of Cantina. Here, just really quick, we'll jump in there. So eventually, we need to farm some of this up because we're going to need to start getting to Relic 5 plus, those sorts of things. We finally run through our supply of these, so we might have to farm some of that. Doing okay on the blues right now, and we can get them from other sources, and we'll look at the shipments and how we might purchase them. But Canteen energy goes towards these pieces as well as our characters we're farming, and we are trying to get our two Jedi ready for the Duel of Fate Silt battle, so they're farmed up and ready to go for when that's coming around. And then our next 3 Cantina farms for the Leia Journey Guide, which is our priority. Have that all set up, and then once we're through these guys, we'll put our next Cantina farms for, none for the Executor, but the Jabba Cantina farms will go on the list next. And that sort of thing. We'll just keep going through and adding as we go. All right, so mod energy, we are strictly right now just trying to get mods. We don't have a ton of mods yet. We're still trying to gather them up as we go. I did flip them around and switch them a little bit to beat the Tarkin event, to get Tarkin at 5 stars that we need. But so you just go in, manage your mods. I go to the filter and I click on only on assign because I'm just working on ones that we haven't touched yet. So like I said, I don't keep E's, no, D's without speed. It's too difficult to get us 2 speeds, so I'm not going to do that. No speed primary on an arrow. We just sell all those right off the bat. Again, we upgrade just to reveal all secondary stats. We hit a speed. 3 is not what we want, but we're going to give it a chance. So then we go to 12. 7 speed, not our favorite, but we need mods, and it's not bad. It's a potency cross, which is not a bad primary. So then we do the same thing, reveal all secondary stats. No speed on this one. Sell it, we're done. So out of that group, we end up keeping 1. So, better than keeping none. So that's what we're doing with our mod energy and mods right now. Ship energy is strictly going towards ship farming. We do not have the energy to really gear farm again. We just have too many things that we need to get up and running for different events. So number 1, Slave 1 for the Tarkin event. Number 2 has been Anakin. I was kind of doing an experiment. I was doing Anakin and Ghost at the same time to see which one I could get to 5 stars faster for the Tarkin event. The Ghost obviously took a large lead, and I kind of slowed down on Anakin's a little bit. But I just wanted to have that backup ready, and getting Anakin's ship to 5 stars when he's a relic pilot, and we're going to keep working on his relics for his Grand Arena squad. It's fine. We're going to get it to 5 stars, 7 eventually, of course. Right now, we have our 5-star Imperial TIE Fighter. As soon as we get the other 22k that we need to promote it, it needs 250k to promote it, so we'll have our 5-star ship for that event coming up. And then, of course, then we have our Conquest energy, which is only available during the 2 weeks of Conquest, which is under Galactic Battles here, as you can see. And yeah, right now our battles cost 15 energy per 15 of the Conquest energy, and these fill super slow at 1 every 15 minutes, only 4 an hour, so fills up super slow. But then we'll be doing a little Conquest here in just a little bit. But first, I want to take a look at our shipments and how we are spending our shipment currencies for our characters, our account. And this isn't like for every account, you know. This is for like more beginning accounts and specific like what we're doing with this account. So let's go to and take a look at our shipments and what we're doing with our shipments. Featured shipments, basically the only thing I do is every 6 hours, every time the shipment refreshes, you want to grab these 4 pieces of gear for credits. It's super cheap, and you get good piece of gear. It doesn't matter how many of them you have. You can scrap them later on, scavenge them later on for mod materials, relic materials. I keep saying mod materials, relic materials. So just always grab those. It's a great price. I don't really do anything with the crystals. We are having pretty terrible luck with the Razor Crest showing up in the Fleet Arena store, and I've only been able to purchase it twice, so we may have to pump crystals into the Razor Crest as we get closer to the Executive event, if that's really holding us up. But we'll see. Maybe it'll break, maybe it'll open up a little more. We'll see how it goes. We have other possibilities too that we'll look into, but not really doing anything in the featured shipments because we really don't purchase things with crystals straight up for the most part. Weekly shipments, same idea, not really buying any gear, ships, anything with crystals. But right here, the Ability Materials Omegas for only 825 of the Mark 1s is a really good deal, and we'll probably grab those once a week once we get going here. I went super gear crazy on my first guild rewards, trying to get my Vader up and running, but this is a really, really good buy of the weekly shipments for 825. Our episode shipments, this is a little bit more flexible. It's, for the most part, the main priority is Ability Material Omicrons. That's your main priority. You want to grab those. But as you need, if there's a really good Datacron for the 2000, you know, a specific Datacron for a character that you have that you think would be really great, or several characters, like if you had a Bounty Hunter squad where this would help them all, that would be really cool. But we're not doing that quite yet. But also we are okay with grabbing signal data as needed. If we don't have the Cantina energy to farm towards it, we're working on characters right now. We can go ahead and pick these 40 of these up for 5,400. I'm okay with that. But like I said, it's going to be primary Omicrons, secondary, probably going to be the signal datas, and then maybe a Datacron occasionally. The Chirotech is another spot where you can grab Chirotech for a decent price right here. That's also another possibility. But we're not really going to be doing much. We're not going to be spending it on gear. I don't feel like this is a very good value on the gear. And I think we can get better values on our relic materials here as well. Our higher up relic materials. I think this is a great spot for circuit boards and wirings. But once you start getting past that, it starts getting a little more dicey on what you're spending, in my opinion. And then occasionally, if a character comes through that you're farming or you need, if it's the 2,500 or the 1,000, or 1,500, that's a good value on the characters, I believe. So, but not really doing the bottom part that much. Really focusing more on the Omicrons, occasionally the signal datas, and a couple of other things. Our era shipments, so we are up to 1,235. And if we wanted to, we could buy a Carbonate Lightspeed token for a character, but I don't have gear 12, I don't have Chirotech stored up, so I don't see any point in pushing a character to a level where I don't have the resources to use towards it, and I'm about to have I need one more piece of gear to get my Vader to gear 12, and I'm going to be focused on him anyways. This may be a resource we use in the future, especially for newer characters that are Chirotech heavy, that like use like 400 Chirotech or something. You can go ahead and skip past 300 of the Chirotech and only have to use the 100 Chirotech for the gear 12 finisher, which is something we might use moving forward, like for a Chrysanthemum's a possibility. But really what I want to do is save up for the 5,000 because it gets you, 3 more stars, which is way more shards, obviously. Skips by all the Chirotech, you're level 85, and you just have to farm up. That's what we did with Piet, right? Our Piet is, we're farming up the last, star, the 7 shards, but he's already Relic 5. We use one of these Erodium Lightspeed tokens on him. So I was able to break in the top 250 of our Coliseum here. This is where you earn your currency here if you go to the leaderboard. So if you're in the top 250, you get 100 per day. And so that's 5,000 every 50 days. And if you add in our events that we have where you can also earn air currency like through the events here, if you add in these as well, I'm saying it's about probably every 45 days that you can get a 5,000 of these tokens together. That's if you're staying in the top 50, right? And so that's about 2 characters every 3 months if you're staying in the top 250. I've only hit the top 250 a couple times, and so I'm not gaining them as much, but it's super important, I believe. I think I wish I would have put a little more credence and maybe even put some more crystals into making sure I get into the top 250. Just because you earn it obviously twice as fast, right? You get twice as many tokens. So instead of 100 days or 90 days for a Erodium Lightspeed token, it's half the amount of time. And so 2 characters at Relic 5 every 3 months is huge for our journey guide progress and pushing forward and getting characters ready for job ahead of time, getting characters ready for Profanity ahead of time, and not having to necessarily farm them up. So now that I'm kind of seeing where I'm going to fall in the air shipments and how much currency I'm going to earn a day, and I can kind of calculate where I'm going to be able to purchase characters moving forward, we're going to talk a little bit more about that. But my plan is still to save up for the 5,000 because I think we can get there in a reasonable amount of time. Our Cantina battles, we are farming Qui-Gon Jinn. We almost have him to 7 stars for our Grand Arena Jedi team, our Annie-Go Boom team that we're working on with the Omicron for Qui-Gon. We just need a couple more Zeta mats for a Zeta, and we already have the Omicron ready. After Qui-Gon is Mob Enforcer is kind of our next target for Jabba. And then after Jabba, we have all our Rogue One characters for Profundity that we need for Profundity and the Rogue One fleets, the Rebel fleet. So Biston, Pow, Cashin's U-Wing, and then also, if you need shipping materials or enhancement droids, not the worst spend in the world, we want to prioritize characters, obviously. But if you need it, if it's tight, and you have the tokens to spend on it, not the worst thing in the world right there. All right, guild activity. This is where we've had a lot of going on since we've gotten our raid rewards from the guild. So our regular guild tokens at the top here, basically just going to spend it towards gear that we need as it comes by. There is one piece, it's a Mark 7 for 150 that comes through, and you want to purchase those as you can because it's our main way to scavenge for a certain piece. Let me show you here. If you go to your chromium transistors, I've already purchased them, but right here, instead of having to sell all this gear, if you purchase these for 150 guild tokens when they come through, you can just live off these guys and you'll have plenty of chromium transistors till the end of time if you need them. Just stay on top of your Mark 7s there. Right, back to what we were doing. So yeah, gear as we needed, and Mark 7's not really doing much in the way of character shards. It's not a great value for any of these characters. We are not earning Mark 3 tokens right now, raid tokens, because we're not doing the newest raid. Eventually, if we want to earn those tokens in the Mark 3 guild event tokens as well, we'll have to move on to another guild that's doing the more recent events, which we may do, but right now we're just focused on getting Rolo. Once we get Rolo, then we'll switch it up as we need. And so Mark III, we're not earning those, but if we do, it's going to be going towards these relic materials as we need them. So Mark II, super important currency as it's, our materials for relics here. Then Gear 12 pieces, it's our main source for Gear 12 pieces. But then our main priority right now is it's also for farming Rebel Officer Layer Organa. As you can see, 66 out of our 330, 1/5 of the way already. Oh, I'm just so excited about that. It's going so great with that. But that's the reason we want to get through Rolo as quick as we can. The reason we want to use our Jedi Lightspeed token on Hermit Yoda, even though he's only 100 Kyrotex total, because of the gear. The currency you need to farm is so important for so many other things that you really don't want to get hung up on these characters. You want to get them done as quick as possible. So obviously territory battles to help through that. Lightspeed token to help with that. Possibly a Carbonites token to help with that. It is a possibility. But we'll see once we start getting our Wampa farm, our Rolo done, and seeing what it's looked like when we start our Wampa. Where we're at, how much Gear 12 we need, how much of a bottleneck we're at with Gear 12. And then our Mark I currency is, again, mod materials. Don't need the chromiums because of those Mark 7s we were talking about, but bronze and wiring, a huge choke point, so getting a lot of bronze and wiring, helping out with carbonate circuit boards. Those are two of the main ones right there. And then all these credits is not a problem anymore, but this is a great value, and the same thing with the shipbuilding materials, shipbuilding credits, whatever you want to call them. Another great buy here if you need credits to level up ships. But then you have these different gear pieces, which are a decent deal. They're all just fine. Buy them as you need. And really, these Mark I guild tokens help you push you through gear 8 through 11 so much faster than before. This is just amazing how you can buy up to 1, 2 pieces at one time, right? Complete to get it done. But then the Mark I currency as well. We're going to be using it for Han Solo, Traya, eventually Kenobi, bunch of other characters in here. Jyn Erso that we need for our Rogue One. Scavenger Ray is going to eventually for a Jedi Training Ray that we need for Jedi Master Luke. Ewoks to go for our C-3PO event, the other Ewoks that we need that aren't part of the Leia journey guide. And then, we might farm Night Sisters out of here to go with our Great Mother squad that we're going to get for, because it's a great squad, and then we need them for Balin Skull requirements. And so then we can farm Kylo Ren out of here for our BB-8 that we need for our Jedi Training Ray, which we need for Jedi Master Luke, which we just said. So yeah, tons of other characters that we're going to, same thing with Finn as well as part of that Resistance squad that you need. So tons of characters and things to farm out of your guild activity stores. Squad Arena, I think we're in the top 100 right now, earning like 625 tokens a day. It's really not a priority, but they're basically going towards farming. Right now we're trying to get our SWGOH up and running. After that, we need to get our Greedo going for the Jabba event as well. We'll get Greedo up and running, get Grand Moff Tarkin to 7 stars eventually. Then we need to work on a Rogue One character, Cassian Andor here. And so, yeah, we got some things we need to do, people we need to farm, and then eventually gear. But then once you have the characters farm and the gear, you have a bunch of this kind of gear, really prestige is what you're spending your Squad Arena tokens on, and that's the materials for your capital ships to upgrade your capital ships right there. So eventually that'll be what you're spending on. Galactic War, we are rotating between character, TIE Fighter Pilot, which we finished. So ships are a priority for the Tarkin event. And then at the end of the day, if we haven't spent it up, we're going, like I said, we were grabbing TIE Fighter Pilot. We can get Grand Moff Tarkin finished this way. We need Biggs Darklighter eventually. We need Wedge Antilles for an event. You can get Finn through here as well. Juhani for the Jedi Knight Revan events. Poplu as well as your other Ewok we were talking about. Hux, if you know, the first order that you need for the BB-8 event, like we're talking about. And then Night Sisters, Night Sister Spirit, as your third that goes along with Great Mothers and Morgan Elsbeth. So then you farm Night Sister Spirit out of here as well. And so shipment farming instead of having to spend your other currencies towards those characters. Mods, I almost always skip over this just because I'm so used to not having that many credits, but the way they have it set up where you have a bunch of credits at the beginning, I still wouldn't really recommend spending it. But if you do roll past a gold mod or yellow mod or 5 dot, A mod with a 5 speed on it and other decent, like this guy right here, I'm not going to spend the 4 million, but I could understand it because it's So it's a defense mod, so a defensive character. So health is a good primary for a defensive character, as a defense, secondary as a percentage. 5 speed, a little extra health, and a touch of offense. That's, a good mod. You know what I mean? I just don't want to spend 4 million out of my 18 million credits towards it. But if you are looking for mods, that's kind of what you're looking for. Gold, 5 speed, mostly percentage. Good things like that. Fleet, we are just farming ships right now. We are focused on bounty hunters, empire, and rebels for the foreseeable future. But since we have the TIE Fighter to 5 stars, we're just going to hold off on that and not spend the currency. Phantom's not one of our targets for the target event, so not quite yet, but we will be farming the Phantom as soon as we have our target event done. And so once you get your ships farmed and your characters farmed and everything that you need out of here, Wedge you can get in here as well, then you're really focused. This is your spot where you're going to get more Zeta mats. On top of the target event, you can go ahead and spend 2,000, fleet materials each, shipment to go ahead and get another Zeta mat. I would not suggest the Omegas. That's not a great deal, but Zetas, this is this other spot to get them as long as you're in. Like a ship like Biston is much like the Razor Crest, where it just rotates through the Fleet Arena Store and there's nowhere else to get it. So got to start picking up Biston shards, but that's not right this moment. That's after the Tarkin event is ready to go. And then our guild event store, once we are earning Mark 3s, which we won't be at first, but once we have a guild or we're doing events where we earn Mark 3s, we're probably going to save those up for the Razor Crest that rotates through here. I know it's a spendy, but we really need to get that Razor Crest up and running as soon as possible. So probably spending Mark 3s if we earn them, when we earn them, towards the Razor Crest. Our Mark 2s are going towards Rolo until Rolo's done. Rolo rotates with the Imperial Probe Droid in this slot right here. Our Mark IIs, but once we get our Rolo up and going, our Mark IIs are going to go towards Kyrotechs. This is going to be one of our Kyrotech farming resources, where it's a much better dealer for the Kyrotech than it is for any of the other Gear 12s. And then we have our Mark 1 guild event tokens here, and those are for Wampa, Hermit Yoda, Malak, and Skywalker, once we, if we unlock them, when we unlock them, to farm the rest of their shards. But then Gear 12 and other gears pieces as we need them. Not really doing too much in the way of farming regular character shards with this currency. Going to focus more on the Gear 12 pieces, those sorts of things. Grand Arena, you earn Grand Arena tokens from victories in Grand Arena and just placing. This is also another currency that the primary focus of it is the Kyrotech. This is a really good deal on the Kyrotech, not a really good deal on the other pieces. So you want to focus on Kyrotech, and then these mod materials for increasing your mods are also a decent value right here, and you can use this currency to purchase those as you're upgrading your mods. Shard shop currency, it's all those extra shards of characters you have at 7 stars, gets converted. This is, you don't want to do character farming here. This is not a good deal on any of the shards for characters or ships. Once you're going for Galactic Legends, this is a great spot to grab the currencies that you need to do those events, light side and dark side. This is the best spot right here. But mainly, we want to focus on these 3 pieces right here that cost 360 a piece. They're all Gear 12 pieces, used in Gear 12 pieces. And this is a really good value for these 3 pieces right here. Whereas these other ones that are Gear 12 as well, you can see they cost twice as much. And you can purchase these if you need to get them, if you need to finish a piece. You can do it, but this is where the value's at, is these 3 pieces right here that cost 360. And you want to accumulate those as you need for your characters. You can stock up, obviously, because you need a lot of those pieces, or you can wait until as you need. But we'll stock up if we can, when we can. We just don't have a lot of shard shop currency coming in because we don't have a ton of 7-star characters yet. But we will eventually, and then we'll be like I said, focused on those guys, and then the currency when we need it. Conquest is one of those weird currencies where you don't really spend it in the shipment itself. Occasionally, you might buy a piece of gear that you need right here. If you're working towards the new characters, or a character that was through Conquest, recently, you might grab some shards here, but that's not anything we're going to be doing. What we're going to be doing with our Conquest currencies is the shops that you run along the way, the little Jawa shops here, where you can, like I already bought a bunch of circuit boards because it's a really good deal on these circuit boards for very minimal investment right here of the Conquest credits. But then look at there's all these gear 12 pieces that as soon as we get Vader to gear 12, I'm going to see which pieces I need and start snagging those bad boys right there. But there's also, like I said, different mod spots, different gear pieces in different spots. And so that's what we're going to be spending most of our currency on for Conquest. And then Datacrons, really not doing too much right now. This is not a good deal. 100K is not a good deal. You just want to buy Bronzium packs instead. Same thing here. These are not good values here. You basically, when we're to a point where we can save up shard chop currency, or we have a bunch of it, you can buy different things like, we want to get another Datacron for our crews, we're short on data cat, basically we're focusing more on the shard chop currency, shard store tokens if you want to call them that, and not really using the ally points in this area here. Maybe in the future crystals might be needed to buy a specific piece, but not as of yet for us. And then legend tokens are something that you get once you've beaten a galactic legend. When the proving ground events comes through, you have to have 4 million GP and beat a certain conquest level. Is it hard you have to have already beaten? But once you do that, an event opens up where you can go earn 20 shards of characters that used to be in Conquest, or your Galactic Legend that you've unlocked. You can use them to battle and earn these legendary tokens. And these legendary tokens are best spent, again, towards ability, material, Omicrons would be definitely your best buy on these right here. But I guess if you needed to snag a character, yeah, I'm not sure. I think really Omicrons are your best bet at that. For these right here. But if you have saved up a bunch and you're trying to finish up a Conquest character for a certain reason, I guess I can understand that. But so that's basically in a nutshell what we're doing with all our energies as far as crystals, energies that we spend, shipments, tokens, currencies. It's kind of in a nutshell where we're at right now with everything that we're doing. And then on top of that, I just wanted to take a quick look at Conquest and how I'm approaching Conquest. So when you go in, you enter, it'll start you on one end, it'll give you the little tutorial thing or whatever, and you start on the one end and you get to pick up one of these data disk stockpiles, right? And then every so often you get to grab another one, right? And they give you an option of, there's usually 2 nodes, 3 on each one, and you get to pick the data disk that you want. So what I try to focus on is caustic emissions. So enemy units gain damage over time for 2 turns at the start of the turn, and then some of them, they gain 2 damage over times, but they stack, right? So 2, 3, 4, 6, 8. So beginning of every turn of our opponent, they get 8 damage over times for them for 2 turns, so that it turns into 16, you know what I mean? And so just keeps going. And the reason I do this is because Conquest units, it even tells you at the beginning, they get so much faster as you go across the board, right? They get better, but mostly it's faster, so your opponents are taking a bunch of turns. Well, if they're going to take a bunch of turns while you're just sitting there, the damage over times really punishes them for that, right? Every time they get that extra turn, they're getting hit with dots. And so that helps you just kill these characters that are taking way more turns than you. And then you can get something like ability exhaust. Once they have 10 debuffs, they get ability block for a turn or 2 turns, and then they can't do anything besides basics, and it can kind of snowball away. So let's just go ahead and we'll just grab this relic squad, kind of a mix. This is what I have left over. We'll save our Phoenix here for just a moment. So it's kind of Empire, kind of just the other 2 relic characters. But as you can see, okay, that was just counterattacks, but if you look over on the right, the debuffs help us move along. Vader's Merciless Massacre, awesome. But they get to take more and more turns, especially as my stamina decreases on our characters. We really, really, really get slow. But once they take their turn, they're still really powerful, a lot more powerful than these guys. They get these extra speed bonuses. It's just the way that it works in Conquest. And then you get your 5 pieces there. And so our goal right now is you have to start on the easy mode, and our goal is to just get through all the levels. It doesn't matter what crate we get, how many we earn. We just need to beat the thing entirely. So then the next time this comes up in a month, we can pick on the medium option. And even if we can't do very well on the medium option yet, The very first crate on normal level, medium level, whatever you want to call it, is better than the best crate you get on easy. And the same thing with hard. As soon as you can do hard, you want to do hard because that crate is better than the best crate you can get on the level before. Just to throw that out there. Get it? Throw that out there like Vader. Alrighty. And then we're just going to do some smacking. Here, have some more dots. Let's see if we can get up to 20. AoE that action. Fry them all. There we go. Some stunnage. I'm just going to pound on you a little bit. Look at that. Lost so much life. Health. Boom. Just died from the dots. Straight up. We're cooking. Go ahead and smack them. More dots for you. More dots. And there you go. Dots took them out. Look at that. 15 plus of them, plus some burning. All right. Let's see what we got. All right. So more Jawa. So large stim pack medium. This is all just potency boost. I don't really purchase any of these or use any of these, but I do usually just grab the one that allows you the stim pack, because then if you wanted to, you can re-up the energy on your character, the stamina on your character. Let's see what the special missions are on this one. The feats. Win with Padawan Obi-Wan in your squad. Win with a Darkside Clone Trooper in your squad. I do not have a Darkside Clone Trooper. I do have Padawan Obi-Wan that I could slip in with my Phoenix here and maybe just crush everyone really quick. There's Padawan Obi-Wan. I don't have a Darkside Clone Trooper that's going to make it, I don't think. See what happens here. Cross them, make them suffer. All right, let's do it. And goodbye. Yes, one shot. It only took one. And done. Victory. Check message really quick. Okay. All right, 20. There we go. You get your 3 for doing the feat. And we get more fun stuff. I don't really like any of these. I'm not going to use them. I'll grab Evasive Technique, but not going to apply it. We're just going to jump out. And there we've unlocked Sector 4, which, as it shows, a little bit harder characters. Oh, one other thing I forgot to say on the last one. Each level has feats, and then the overall feats as well. So gain health steal up 15 times. I think we can do that with the Emperor's ability. Win 5 battles and cap. We don't have cap, and then 100 damage over time effects. So that's just going to be Vader and the Emperor together. Should be able to get those done. And then if we jump back out, just to show you, there's the event feat that's just overall. And then so we've done a few of them already. And then we need to what? Just keep evading attacks eventually over time. I don't really have the pirates. And then we'll see if we can get the booming voice. Once we, yeah, there it is right there, the booming voice you earn. So once we get our 50 evasions, we'll get the booming voice. We can put that on, and then we can do the follow my lead and get that event feat done as well. So that's how that works there. And we wanted, not going to use any of these, but we'll go ahead and grab that. Because the booming voice works on the leader as well, so we may switch to like a totally leader-centric kind of set. But I'm staying on the golden path. We have events to complete, which include you, not you, but you. And then we can use whoever we want. So let's go ahead and just go with Empire. We'll go with a tank. We'll get one tank in the squad. So we're against Jedi. We should get some speed boost here. All right, who's next? Your next turn for them is. All right, let's get a buff immunity on. Well, we were trying to get it so we couldn't taunt. That was the idea anyways. Trying to get a buff immunity on them. See, as you can see, they're going pretty quickly, taking turns. Let's start getting some more damage over times going. Let's get rid of all their buffs since they're light side characters, and let's just make Yoda disappear. All right, let's get cracking here. Let's try it. We'll try it. Not quite. That's all right. Some more dots for you. I'm curious how many dots we got just this event, this round. Does it count all the ones from the discs, or is it just the ones I'm inflicting with Vader? Interesting to see. Oh, I forgot to do my health steal. Got to use his ability to health steal up. I think he only got one turn. We'll have to remember to use that. That was my bad. Got to remember that health steal. Let's see what that did for feats. All right, 18 damage over time effects. That only counts the ones because it's inflicting it. So that's Vader doing it. Let's go and try these Jawa out and see if I can remember to health steal. Health steal, health steal, health steal. I'll forget. Watch, everyone's just going to die. All right. Flick those. Inflict. Inflict. Ooh, yeah, we're getting killed by bombs. That's fun. Let's inflict some more. Can we clear you? No. Oh, yeah, bombs are getting me. Might run out of time. Bombs might get me first. Health steal out. Let's, even if we die, let's get the health steal going. Each time a bomb goes off, though, they recover their. I may have messed this one up, underestimating these sneaky Jawas. I think I did. Okay, so they recover each time a bomb goes off. Let's go. We'll see what we can do here. Not enough. Just not quite enough. Not gonna get there. Because they keep recovering this protection each time. That's the issue. Okay. Well, hopefully all these damage over times I'm inflicting still count. Oh, he's got taunt up, which ruined that attempt. I think I messed this one up. That's okay. Should not have. I misjudged the strength of these Jawas. Okay, let's go ahead. Oh, no, we're done. We're toast. Yeah, because each time they're recovering from the bombs going off, they're recovering their full protection. So my AoEs and burning and dots just aren't going to be quite enough. You know what I mean? I'm going to throw it for a second. Don't think it's going to be enough. Maybe I can get lucky and get through them. Okay. If they take enough turns and the bombs don't go off on me. Almost. There we go. Oh man, is he gonna hold on? I don't think so. I don't think that's gonna be enough. Because each time a bomb goes off, he refills and I just can't get enough damage through. Just not enough damage. Oh, so close yet so far away. Just can't get through it. Yeah, because it's great that comes off, but then it refills when my bomb goes off. That's the problem. See, now if I could not take a turn. Go. Go. I didn't think we could do that. Oh my god, I didn't think that was going to work. But, okay, I guess the dots finally got there. Holy crap. I didn't think that was going to work. Sorry, not a big deal. It's not like we just, did anything amazing. I just got a little surprised. I thought we were going to run out of juice. But as you can see here, we're already on the 235 crate. Not that that matters. Like I said, we're just trying to beat the levels. And what we get along the way, so we get to the gold crate, cool. Not going to get to the red crate because we're not going to be able to accomplish enough of the extra event feats and those sorts of things. But that's kind of a look at Conquest there. As you see, there's different little tricky things to it. You want to make sure your crews have the stamina they need as well. I was really low stamina, so that was part of the problem as well. I wasn't hitting as hard and not going as fun. But as we go across here, those teams are going to get really, really, really fast, take tons and tons and tons of turns. And so if we're getting 16 dots plus burning on them, you know, as they're taking their turns, you see it can whittle through them. And that's kind of the strategy and approach that I'm using for this Conquest. And just really, really quick, just if it's been a minute since we touched base, I know, you know, we are doing a Leia Organa into an Executor, into a Jabba, into a Jedi Master Luke Profundity. We're doing the Skywalker Triangle, as it's called. And some people, that was my bad, Journey Guide. Just a really, really quick review. So Leia, we have Relic, farming on our hard node farm, lined up for our Cantina farm, token, Empire token, Cantina farm lined up 1/5 of the way there of Rolo, Cantina farm already on the list, token, farm and Cantina alongside Lando. They're on the same node. So we really are working hard towards Leia right now. Everything's either getting farmed or relicked or something along those lines. And then our next was the Executor is our next jump over, and part of that's because of the Lightspeed tokens we're getting. We're getting those bounty hunters in March, right? So we're working on Vader and the TIE Fighter pilot right now. Vader's one more piece for Gear 12 to get to level 12. TIE Fighter pilot's like 9 or 10 right now. But then we get Bosk, IG-80, Dengar, Boba, all in March with that bounty hunter package of those Lightspeed tokens. And then Piet, we've already thrown a token on. He's already Relic 5. We just need to farm him up to the 7th star and get him to Relic 8, which we're doing. Then obviously these ships, we also have, you know, fleet farming. And then these are hard node farms, those bombers that we were talking about before. And then again, advanced, the TIE Fighter, and then possible hold up our Razor Crest right here. So if we do have issues with the Razor Crest holding us up to get this event done in time, it's so fine for us to slide over and work on the Jedi Knight Luke while we're trying to get the Razor Crest, right? Because he's one of the main components of the Jabba event. And so we're going to be farming Wampa as soon as we're done with Rolo with all those guild activity tokens. And then CLS, so we talked about, is the token. Rolo, we're working on right now. We get a token for Chewbacca. We already talked about Captain Han. C3PO is a, we're going to get him through an event through the Ewoks, and we're already working on a bunch of Ewoks for Rolo we talked about. Just need to farm the other ones. And then we have the Millennium Falcon, which we get through all those bounty hunter ships. Wedge's ship that we need to farm through the fleet stuff. We're already in Wedge, we can get through shipments as well. And then Hermit Yoda, we're going to use our Jedi token on, so we don't have to spend up all those in that important currency that we need for other things. We already said CLS is covered. These three were already covered before, and then Lando, obviously, farming and Cantina, we were talking about it. As you can see, all these characters that we're using for Leia, that we're using for our Jedi Knight Luke as well. You can see these overlaps, right? And then CLS, and then, of course, our Vader, who we're getting up to 7, Relic 7 for the Executor and C events anyways. So as you can see, all that overlap already happening. So then we can work towards Jedi Knight Luke, which, like I said, big part of our Jabba. Chrysanthemum's going to end up being a token. Han Solo is the Mark 1 guild raid currency, Mark 1 raid tokens. Guard is a shipment. Outrider, we're farming. Greedo's shipment. Lando, we're hard node farming. Jedi Knight Luke just talked about him in the Journey Guide. Jawa and Aurora, both hard node farms that we're working on. C3PO, I already talked about him in those Ewoks. Both Leia will have her from the Leia event. Or Sing, our Cantina farm. Fennec, we get from the Bounty Hunter Lightspeed token. Same thing with Boba Fett. He's also for the Executor. Then Mob Enforcement, shipments, Cantina that we talked about earlier. And then that'll jump to either Jedi Master Luke or the Profanity next, depending on which one. The timing works a little better, but the only real special thing about Jedi Master Luke is having to do the First Order to get BB-8, because you need BB-8 to get Jedi Training Rey. That's the only kind of little side thing we'll be doing later on. Not difficult, though. But yeah, we'll have a token for Ben. We already talked about C-3PO. We're farming Mothma right now. Token for 3PO and Chewie from Leia that we talked about, the droid token. Jedi Knight Luke from Jabba. R2-D2's already done. Han Solo already done. Chewbacca. 6 already worked on him from the Jedi Knight Luke event. The Rebel Y-Wing will farm up. We already have it at 4 stars. Princess Leia. Token. Hermit Yoda. We're going to buy that token that we talked about. Wedge, we need to get him going for his ship going for the Jedi Knight Luke. We'll get him through shipments. Biggs through shipments. Lando, I already talked about him. Cantina Farm. Seen all this repetition, right? And then we go to the Profundity to wrap up. And this is like our year-long mission. We're trying to get this all done in a year with all these amazing Lightspeed tokens. So we got Radis, which might end up being a token now that we're looking at it. I know I farmed them some, and it's kind of a waste what I farmed. But you need to farm something. I'm still kind of learning as we're going with this whole new thing. So, but Radis may end up being a token. But Andor shipments, Dash, Cantina. We also need the Outrider that we're working on right now. Mon Mothma, Hard Node Farm already working on. Biston we talked about in Cantina shipments. Jin is also a Guild shipment, Mark 1. Hera already have to Relic 3, just need to get Hera up to Relic 5. Again, the Outrider already farming. Ewing Cantina shipments, Biston Fleet Arena shipments. And then we got Wedges. We already talked about Wedges, Jedi Knight Luke, but we can get that through shipments. Biggs through shipments. Rebel Wising through shipments. Ghost through shipments. All those things. And so that is our overlapping awesome plan, just to cover it one more time and where we are at those certain things. So, we've covered our territory battles, we've covered Conquest, and we've talked about spending all of our currencies today and what we're spending them on. So we're going to go ahead and using our crystals as long as we can. We're going to overspend over our income just because we can, and I want to keep pumping this thing along. But once we, start burning through most of our crystals, we'll see where our income's at and kind of see where we need to adjust. We'll probably slow down on Cantina refreshes first more than anything. But then we'll see. We'll slow down on other refreshes as needed. But we're going to keep this train at full max, keep shoveling that coal, and keep this thing pumping down the tracks because we are making amazing progress for 15 days. Amazing, amazing progress. All right. Oh, one check-in really quick with the Tarkin event, the ships. We're getting really close to our 5 stars, so we're already there for the TIE Fighter. We just need to have the credits to actually level up. 10 for the Silencer, only 21 for the Advanced, 13 for the Ghost, 20 for the Bomber, and 28 for the Slave 1. But I'm hoping with these double and triple drops we can hit a couple more on these Slave 1 and get caught up there. So the next Tarkin event is in like 3 days, and then there's one in 4 days. So I'm really, really hoping we can get those ships going in the next 3 or 4 days to get the Zeta event unlocked, get some more Zetas, and before we lock for our first Grand Arena. That is the hope. That's the hope. That's the progress. Looking beautiful. Everything's coming along great. Almost have our 7-star Qui-Gon. But yeah, if you enjoyed the video or found anything of the video helpful, go ahead and give it a like. If you want to get more of these videos, go ahead and give it a subscribe. You'll get this series as they come out. Again, I want to apologize. The holiday season, a little busy, just a little crazy. Been having a hard time getting to the computer to stream with everything going on. But I hope you are having a great holiday season. I hope your new account is going beautifully. I hope you're taking advantage of all these new freebies, double drops, triple drops, the free crystals, the Lightspeed tokens. I hope all of those things are making your account way more enjoyable to play. So, until next time, everybody, as always, keep doing those big dog things.